No sound. So right.
Awesome
So all
Dude,
these.
you hit the wrong buttons.
I know. I'm gonna become a member of Gesticulators Anonymous. You know, just for all this no sound. So thank you guys for joining us. Beyond the Rift tonight will be Sans Deamonmachine. He had a death in his family, and he'll be taking care of that. And our thoughts go out to him tonight, dealing with all those sad things. So tonight we have with us Alakite from us.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's a good guy. You can find him on the community. He does casting, all sorts of other stuff. Rastarian and Sayo are two of our members from BLG.eu who are going to Paris in a week or so.
Woohoo!
Yep. And we have Sprayern, which is our resident troll and awesome, friendly community guy.
Yep.
Yep. All right. I'm glad you are all so talkative tonight. And tonight we're going to be talking about Freya. We're going to be talking about the upcoming WOGL, when that is, what it is, all of that. And we'll be talking about Loki, the upcoming god. We have some really cool stuff for that. We'll be talking about Freya, right here, how she is after a week, and Alakite. So glad we are entertaining for you tonight. Let's jump right into it. In the ESL tournament for the Paris Games Week qualifier, BLG.eu won, right? Yes?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
I guess one.
Well, they won in the qualifier.
We won our
they
bracket, yeah.
They get to go to Paris.
Yeah, they get to go to Paris. They won. Other people won too, but they won. So, tell me about it. Tell me about the tournament, what it was, who was playing, what matches you had, all that other stuff.
I mean, like there were matches. What happened is that we got there on time. We're all there. We're all waiting.
Right.
We wait a bit longer because we got to buy the start. We wait a bit longer for the first round to end, and a bit longer. 2 hours, 3 hours. Then round one ends while every other team is at the quarterfinal stage. So we were and then we had our first battle 3 hours into the tournament, and we then won our round and finished and ended up still in the same correct time frame with all the other teams. So we went straight into the fight against Bipolar Method.
How was that?
Yeah, that was challenging, but I actually really think we pulled it out in that match with very few mistakes. It was all well played. I mean, me and Zaliran left lane against Cupid Sobek. We knew we were going against that. We knew the risks, and we managed to hold it.
Nice.
Because it could have gone a lot worse.
Yeah.
Sayo and mids, amazing. What did you go, 7-1?
I was 10-0 or 10-1.
Yeah.
Something like this.
Something like that.
Wow.
You just carried us. And
Gotta love that.
because, carried by Sayo.
Hey, it could be worse. It could be worse, really.
And that right lane beginning right lane is set us off with a really high sort of morale, because the invade, we got 2 kills at the start. Because if you get that kind of good start, your team's already really happy. Yes, we've got a good lead at the start. Let's hold it. And then Smek's call on the Fire Giant pretty much sealed the deal, really. Because Smek. Shout out to Smek for that Fire Giant call.
So,
the best call ever.
So tell me a little bit about this Fire Giant call. I don't. Tell me the background. What was going on with it.
Okay.
So Fire Giant call wins the game. Go.
Yeah. Out of picks and bans, and Alakite will probably scold us for those picks and bans.
Oh,
we ended up with
absolutely.
4 physical damage champions, and me, Youngguan Yu, I'm the only source of magical damage. So we were heavily countered by anyone using armor. But what Smet probably realized, and what we were a bit slow to pick up on, was that with 4 physical champions, we can probably kill the Fire Giant inside about 2 or 3 seconds.
Nice.
So when we're all panicking, Smet's just go start it, and it's dead within 2 seconds, just as Sobek engages on me. And we pretty much we know how to handle the Fire Giant. We know exactly how to do it. We do a methodical, bring every single tower down and then snowball to victory. That's how it just goes. So if it kind of feels like if we, the Fire Giant, we know exactly how to capitalize on it. We don't go for a kind of suicidal quick run for middle Phoenix and hope you win.
Right.
It's more get every single tower down, get as much gold as you possibly can, and then with that gold advantage, get either a second fire giant when it comes off, or just if you have time, go for the win. And in that case, we had the win pretty much. And that feeling when you kind of just like when it was ESN, I feeling oh yes we won, it was huge, but then thinking we've got the very first offline Smite tournament in our grasp is unbelievable, really.
So what do you get for winning? So assuming you go to Paris and you win, what do you get?
Yeah. We win 2,500 euros split between the 5 of us if we were to come first. It's a 5,000 euro prize pool, and then it's like third, second pool. Basically, we're already guaranteed a prize. It's just like 4th place is quite a small amount split between 5 people, and then it goes up. So 500 euros is quite sweet.
Yeah, I'd say. So that's what, $700-ish? 685? That's my
I live in Britain, so it's like about £400, and it costs roughly 200 to go. So I make some money, but it's not really about the money in a way. It's more just, experiencing it really.
Right.
It was. It is a personal dream to actually play for money. That was for me. That was what it's about. And we've seen the stage, haven't we? Si? We've seen where we're playing on Saturday.
We cannot give it out sadly though. We cannot show it to you guys.
Ooh.
It's cool though.
We saw how it looks there. It's fucking amazing. Like wow.
That's awesome.
It's like there's a little area for people to play the game.
What I thought at first was like for the first offline tournament, like 5 computers there, 5 there, and then set it up and then just play. But it's like an actual stage.
Yeah.
We cannot really say how it looks there, but like you will see it on ESL TV most likely.
Yeah. It's cool.
So
excited.
Yeah, so you're going to Paris. Like I'm really stoked. So you guys will have all your travel plans and all that all done, or do you need like donuts or baguettes? What do you need?
I'm sure Saya will sample the French wines.
Oh hell yeah! If you need any recommendations, just let me know. I can provide you.
No getting a hangover before the game day.
Yeah.
Hey, as long as you're drinking during or afterwards, you're good.
During? Okay.
Okay, don't drink
Definitely
during,
afterwards,
but definitely afterwards.
God owes me a beer anyways, so.
Beer. Germans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Qualifiers are pretty fun. I was happy that I got a. Both with Injured and Bart, I gotta help cast those, which was
you and Injured was cool.
I like being with Injured. Bart's cool, but our personalities I don't think really mix that well. Me and Injured mixed a lot better personality-wise. So I want to cast them more, but it was a very fun qualifier round. There were a lot of there weren't that many good matches. I don't want to sound bad, but there were a lot of stomps in it. But or what am I trying to say? The BLG.eu versus what were they? My Revenge, or I try to think what their new name was. BM was. Yeah, so that was a really good game. It was really fun to cast it, and it was just really fun qualifiers in general. BLG.eu outplayed them, played very well. When we first saw the picks, you guys were feeding us the picks during that game. We were like, okay, what are they going to pick next? I'm like, okay, maybe another AD carry / tank and an AP carry. Nope, 2 more AD carries making it 4 AD carries and 1 tank. I'm like,
yes.
I don't know what just happened.
Actually, I could give you like the explanation to this because
I'd love to hear it.
When you go with 4 ADs, your like pros are that you can push down towers very fast. You snowball insanely in the mid game and late game. And the only thing you really have as a chance to win is like your power. When you, for example, get a fire giant, you have so much more power getting out of an AD carry than you get from an AP carry.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have someone like Olaf, who like his job is to like when we engage in a team fight, he played the mana, and his job is most likely to like soak as much damage up as he possibly can, so I can like just shred through the team. And this is what basically happened. The whole team fights, over and over again. Olaf just positioned like perfectly every team fight. I could jump on the carries, I could jump on Lobster, and I could jump on Spoo very easily. And the thing is, when we played a setup, we wanted that we knew that we don't want to give them Hell and Agni. Because basically Agni is like a disengager in some sort of way. And when you played like such a melee such a heavy melee based combination, like what we have played Enher, the Mana, I think it was Wukong, I was dead, and Kali.
Yeah,
No, Bakasura and Kali.
Yeah.
We knew we don't want to give them a Hell for like decursing the whole team with the slows, the creeping curses, and we don't want to give them Agni. Because this is basically what destroys your
Agni Spoo.
Yeah, and this is what basically, and Spoo is like hell of Agni. You don't want to give Spoo Agni, to be honest. And this is what basically we aim for, and we knew like when it comes to the point of team fighting, when we engage them, like this was our only chance that we engage them kind of as good as possible with 5 melees, with 4 melees, actually 5. Then we can win this fight easily because they cannot get out of this. They have no Agni, they have no Hell. They have like literally nothing to get out of the fight. And when Olaf is standing like this perfect in a team fight, there's basically no real chance of them winning, because when they stack armor too early in the game, the problem is that they won't have the damage to take us down, and we will just lifesteal our way back up. And when they don't go for the armor, we'll just shred them because of Olaf's positioning, our engagement and stuff. This was basically the thought behind it.
Interesting. So I had a question for you. How would some, like, as you were saying with disengagers, that's a really, really great point. I hadn't thought of Agni as that role. Other things that might fill that role really well would be the Frost Giant, Ymir. Wouldn't he be a very good disengager?
Yeah, in a way. I mean,
he has the walls, he has the stun. Ymir
is a bit weird. He's kind of like, to use Fixie's term, a CC bot. He uses the slows, the walls, the stuns, and all that. He's not quite like, I don't know the best way to describe it, because he's useful, but then you got gods that, like, say, Guan Yu or Sobek, in that they offer a bit more, particularly Guan Yu, because he has healing, armor shredding, a slow dash, and a gigantic CC ulti. It's kind of like Ymir's good, but he's really, he's kind of like, he doesn't quite part of the damage. He's just there to zone people out and do the stunning. If you've got something like Ares or Guan Yu, there's a lot more you can get out of them. Ares chains now.
Oh, yeah.
And his CC immunity. I think people don't really know about Ares is that Ares is 2 stacks with Resolve. So he can hit about, I think it's about 55-60% CC reduction. Wow. So if you're against Agni with Ares and he stuns you and you've got that up, you don't notice it. You really don't. You just walk. You keep walking almost. So yeah. If you can grab a Resolve item and then use your 2, you can ignore almost all CC in a way.
Yeah. I can definitely.
I'm getting off track now.
Yes. We are getting terribly off track. Where were we? Alakite. Where were we?
I don't know what.
Alakite's like, I'm playing a game.
I'm thinking about what I want to talk about.
Yeah, we were talking about how you were casting with.
Casting. That went pretty far.
About the game. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well,
and Sayo was saying something.
Well, I don't remember, but I'm gonna go off my tangent now.
Yeah, do it.
BLG.eu did very well, even though they did have 4 ADs. They did very well in grabbing a lot of executioners / void blades to make sure that even if they did have higher armor, it wasn't going to go that far, which showed the power of those shredding items to their full potential. And I also think part of it was the fact that the enemy RAs decided to go Mystical Mark over I'm trying to think of Witchstone.
Yeah.
He went Sovereignty, Mystical Mark or Sovereignty, Mystical Mark instead of Sovereignty Witchstone, which I thought was really weird. And in my opinion, I think that was a really big problem for the enemy team. I think if they would have grabbed a Witchstone, it would have made such a difference in the damage output of BLG.eu, or the damage that BU, excuse me, the damage output of BLG.eu. Maybe not to, you know, change the fight drastically into the point where they were going to win, but I think it would have made a much bigger difference than Mystical Mark did.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
I think another thing is Youngbei is I find Youngbei interesting because his strategy is to stay in lane for as long as possible and just farm. That works sometimes. It's a respectable strategy, but when I think it only works if your team is like at advantage in a way that they can handle a 4 versus 5 team fights. In that particular instance, we were ahead, and Youngbei and Zalia were both just farming in left lane. So it was just 4 versus 4s all the time, and because we had the advantage, it was almost always we'd win out in terms of fights until it became a point where Zalia didn't need to stay in left lane. He could come with us, and we could get Fire Giant and Gold Fury and go 5v4 and win every time. I think what Youngbei could do is that if he's seeing that they haven't got the advantage, that he needs to help his team out, things could have probably been different. If Cupid ultis had gone off, it probably might have turned tide of fights. I'm not going to deny that, really. Not a fault of, like, it's more, that's me criticizing more like something you could, like, consider, maybe. Like, anyway, just something I thought might have impacted the game a bit.
Interesting. All right. So it goes about that. So Paris, Sayo, did you have anything else to add to your awesome win?
To the whole tournament, I think I have to make props to ESL and hi-rez to actually host a tournament 4 months into the beta and make all this happening that we can travel there. I mean, yeah, we have to pay for the travel and the hotel and stuff, but still the price money is basically for the first and second place covering the whole trip.
Yeah,
and
that's pretty good.
Yeah, the tournament was run the problem was there were some misunderstandings with ESL hadn't know they did a blind pick version at first, then after we convinced them to make a actual draft mode, a picks and bans mode, it took a while for the teams, especially some teams couldn't speak English actually.
Ooh, that might be a problem.
Yeah, in the first rounds, some teams couldn't even get in the match because some issues and stuff. I don't say that it's the fault of ESL, because if teams sign up for this, they basically have to read the rules, have to be aware of what you need to do in a tournament, because I don't want to say this
ESL,
second
English
match
is a second language.
At least our first match we would have played, we got a bye in the first match because we're rank 1 seeded. And then the second match we would have played, I think after 2.5 hours of waiting, was against a French team in the EU qualifiers. Apart from that, they had their own qualifiers, never mind. They had a 1.5 hours match. Then we came into them and started to talk with them. It was not easy to communicate with them because their English was kind of weak. And then after 20 minutes of talking, they said to us could we delay the game to tomorrow? And then we had another half an hour to talk with the admin that we get another bye because they're pulling out of the tournament. And finally, then the third game we could play against.
Wow.
I think it was We Eat Sushi. Yeah, it was hard to communicate because it was just run by one admin, 26 teams, so 130 players. So yeah, it was kind of too much for one admin, I'd say. But it's not the fault of ESL directly that some players didn't read the rules or some kind of stuff.
So, along with that reading the rules, there's one reason why people were well, why didn't such and such team play? Why wasn't this team there? Why wasn't that team there? Part of it being an offline tournament, even though the game's online, you can all view it, is that you have to actually be able to go there. So, if you win, say if BLG.eu won, and they're oh, we can't actually go, they'd be banned from ESL.
Yeah, so they would be banned from ESL. So if you sign up this tournament and don't know, and you know that you cannot travel there, like you shoot in your own foot, because like when future tournaments come up, you're banned. You get a penalty for this kind of stuff. So yeah, when American teams sign up, it's great when they like can come up
Actually go.
for the travel and stuff and actually go there. But if they just sign up for just playing there and kicking out teams that would actually have a chance to go there, this is like, yeah, this is why they set the perma ban, or like the ban for, I think, five events or something.
Yeah.
I think it was a five events penalty.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So, yeah.
What's next?
That's part of that. It goes well into our next topic of the WOGL, or as I affectionately call it, the Woggle. Tournament. Woggle tournaments. It actually starts this Saturday, I believe, this Sunday. And
Yes, I think so.
yeah, and you can find out all the information about it from woggle.org. I talked to one of the organizers. We would have a post for you on blg.eu where you can look up guides and Smite news and all sorts of other neat stuff, and we have great forums too, by the way. But the teams aren't finalized yet, so since the teams aren't finalized yet, they don't have a match time, so I can't really tell you anything other than stay tuned. So that is that. So the people that are signed up for the Woggle tournament are fairly huge, and it isn't just a straight up one-off tournament like we've been having recently. It's an entire season. So
Yeah, it's a big ass championship.
yeah, big ass championship, lots of games, lots of people playing. It'll be several of the games will be cast by Woggle particular streamers. Also, other people will be casting it. Like I know Lionheart will be casting some of the games. Alakite might be casting some of the games.
I don't know, because I thought they were basically saying that we don't want you casting our games at all.
How the casting will work is the Woggle people don't want anyone else casting the games that they're casting, but they won't be casting all the games because a lot of them may or may not be happening at the same time. So as long as, for all you casters out there, or all those people who want to watch casts, as long as Woggle isn't casting one, then there'll probably be someone else casting something else. So if there's two big names playing, like say BLG.eu is playing Juice, and Reason Gaming is playing BLG.na something, they can't both be cast at the same time. So one will be cast officially, one unofficially. That's how that'll work. So woggle.org, click on the little like tournaments in Smite, and there's only one Smite tournament going on right now, incidentally. Who would have guessed? So that's how that works. I think it'll be a lot of fun. A lot of games. I'm really looking forward to it. And the advantage of a lot of games is there's a lot of chance for the unknown teams to prove themselves, or the known teams to prove themselves, either for or against. So I'm really looking forward to that. And the games aren't going to be specific to any one time. So it's not like Saturday afternoon, these are then. The teams get together and like, okay, well, we can do it on Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Okay, so they're going to be all week, a lot of games. It's going to be great. So, Restarian, did you want to talk about who's in it?
I'm going through the teams. Now, there's like 26 teams signed up, but I don't recognize all of them, really. The ones I do recognize are Reason Gaming, BLG, let's see, ESG, also known as Bipolar Methods, Glitch Gaming, recently renamed from Girth Gaming after a name mix-up that has now become just normal. Obviously Juice, we all know Juice. Focus Gaming, they scrimmed Juice recently, actually, just now, or maybe still doing it. BLG.eu, shout out to my team. I think that's about it. Oh yeah, there's Team Dynamite. They are currently recruiting a new right lane, actually. I'll put the details in the Twitch chat later. And obviously Team Legion. There are a few other teams I don't recognize, but they might cause an upset. I don't know. Oh no, I recognize Team Rhubarb. They were in the ESL, I think. Interesting. There's a lot of teams. Some I do sort of know, other don't. See how it goes, really. You never know.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it'll be a lot of fun. I'm very much looking forward to it. Did any of you guys have any comments on the Woggle action? WOGL.org.
Well, I mean, just in general with the teams, we've been seeing a lot more teams coming out in general. You know, maybe some of them haven't been competing at, you know, what I would call the highest level of play, but a lot of new teams coming out, a lot of new action in the scene, I guess we could say, with like Dynamite's up there, Girth Gaming before they changed their name was I guess a newer team. These newer teams that are popping up. It's just nice to see a lot of different competition other than the few that are the General Juice, BLG.NA, Reason, esg.eu, the same few teams over and over. So it's very nice to see new teams coming out. And I'm gonna have to do something about that video.
Yeah, I'm really happy that there's so many teams signed up. And if you want to sign up, Saturday is your limit. After Saturday or Friday, can't remember.
Yeah, I'd also like to shout out to KO. He's the BLG.NA team leader, and basically a week ago they had, drama. I won't go into that, but lost 2 team members. So he's had to go through a huge recruiting process of basically recruiting 2 new members by Saturday. So, shout out to KO for working hard and finding those new members before the brackets or the rosters close for Woggle.
Yeah. Yeah. And for all of you guys that are wondering where Demon is and why I'm all by my lonesome tonight, he had a death in the family, so he is taking care of that. But the show must go on, as it were. So, any more thoughts on Woggle?
Woggle you more. Well, I don't know. I've given
Woggle
you
you
teams.
more.
Ryan is playing there.
All right. Yeah.
What?
We will annihilate you, Sprayon. You will perish
Oh,
before us.
Awesome, okay. Yeah, it's nice that they have like quite a decent prize pool, I suppose. Like I'd say, they give out some hardware also.
Yeah, that's cool.
they do.
Like I think
Prices are really good, actually.
$750 for the rank 1 team and 5 team chassis. I think it was their first place. I cannot really remember the second and third one.
Second place $100 and 5 mice.
Nice.
Okay.
And third place is $100 and some energy drinks.
Okay. From this
Nice.
Mio or something like that. Because they got a new sponsor, I think. And they also like give out on like community based event stuff like a Razer keyboard, I think, a headset, and even gunners like gaming glasses worth like at least $100 without shipping. Like they're giving out some cool and nice prizes. I'm looking forward to it, and like it's like sad that some people got the official rights to stream it and shoutcast it, but it's fine for me. I hope like that every game will get covered as good as possible, and that this whole tournament will be run smoothly. Or this season, I think it lasts like 8 weeks or something, and like I wish all teams best of luck, and yeah,
Yeah.
I think
cool.
there's
Yeah,
nothing
yeah.
like more to say about Vogel.
Yeah. We'll
It was talked over like before 100 times.
yeah.
Yeah, I really hope it is run well and that every game gets the, attention it really needs in terms of casting and stuff. That's what makes the community great and what makes the community get together under these banners, I guess, Like ESL, sure it wasn't that huge, but, 300, 400 viewers on the hi-rez stream. The ESN tournament had 600 people. It's really a nice way to get the community together, so I really hope it does get the attention it needs and attention it wants, especially with all these amazing prizes they're giving out.
Yeah. I think it'll be really good. I'm looking forward to it. But then again, I'm easily amused. So, speaking of me being easily amused, there is this really cool animation that is right to my whatever side this is for you viewers, and which is Freya. So last week, around this time, a little earlier, they released Freya, and it's been a week, and I've noticed a lot of different play styles for Freya, a lot of different roles, that crazy stun she has.
She sucks.
And so what are your thoughts?
She doesn't suck.
I wouldn't say she
Ooh.
sucks. She's more niche than suck. She just has, unlike Cupid and on her, she has defined strengths and weaknesses. So,
Well, what are they?
Okay, me and Leah play the ridiculous lane of Arna Freya. No real competitive value because it's so squishy. In normal games, on the other hand, yeah, we haven't lost it yet. It's essentially, I think Freya really just needs hard CC to work because she banishes and then it's a sitting duck stun. In the case of on her Freya, it's banish, pillar, stun. Pretty much dead person. Double slows, 2 ranged attacks. It's a guaranteed kill level 2 pretty much, unless it's Chris in the way. And ultimates kind of synergize really well because Freya can snipe with hers, and on hers has got a ridiculous range. It's a generally well synergized lane, it just lacks sustain in a way.
Interesting. So, what would you guys say as far as her abilities go? The one I've noticed that's part of her abilities that's the strongest is the slow on her ranged AoE damage. What are your thoughts? No thoughts?
Well, I would disagree that that's her strongest ability. I think her strongest ability is, between Banish and Ultimate. The other two abilities, sure, they're nice, but I think Banish and Ultimate are really what set her apart from any other god in the game. The fact that she can basically put another god out of the fight for 3 seconds, can either make your team win a fight or make your team lose a fight, depending on how good you are at the timing of that. And that Ultimate is just really amazing. I think it's almost 1,000 damage without resistances. And it's just a really good Ultimate. You're immune during it. So I think those are her two abilities that set her apart. The other abilities, sure, are good and they're unique, but I think those are what set her apart from any other character in the game.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, her ultimate, I found, like, when I'm using characters, and her ultimate is very strong, and it seconds as an escape, and it seconds as a tactical get-out-of-jail-free card. So, like, say you're Sobek and you dive under right before you pop out, she can just boop, pop up right in the air. It's kind of hard.
Yeah.
There's a lot, or like say you're on her and you go ultimate her, pop up right in the air. I think
the funniest thing to do is when Odin ultimates and just fly out.
Yeah.
Nothing to do here.
So troll.
Yeah, or fly, or run into the tower and just fly through it and go kill somebody. You're like, who needs the tower dive?
Yeah, but that's the reason I love her, because everything she does has to be tactical. It's not like Cupid and On her who have tons of escapes, tons of slows, tons of everything, If she uses her ultimate, she can't escape for another, 60, 70 seconds till it's back up. So everything on her is really tactical. You have to use it one way or another. And that's what I like about her. She's not a jack of all trades like Cupid and On her were in their time. / still are, but...
Cool. People messaging me and stuff. You can message us on Skype at this right here, perfect.rain, R-E-I-D-N. You can call us up. We can call you. So anything else we want to add on Freya? I mean, it seems like she's hard to play really well. What kind of builds would we want on Freya? What have you guys seen so far that works really well? Because that's awesome. And she can build such a variety of things. What do you guys got?
Not really.
Spirit of the Magus.
Spirit of the Magus. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good level 1
Me and
item.
Zaleel on that pretty quick.
Fatalis, #1 item, so OP, needs nerf now.
It is really just like, go... I mean, Zaleel has been messing around a bit, and what he found was that actually just going pure mage tends to work with a little attack speed, like Fatalis and like 5 magic items. He also goes boost to celerity. Don't know why. He likes it. Super fast Freya.
Super fast Freya.
I think it's because Freya has sort of like really difficult escapes. Like if her ultimate is down, her only way of escaping is banish and a 2, because 2 goes slow. If she can't land a banish, she has nothing, because she can't really afford to turn around, because then she's losing speed. So the way to really escape is to outrun, which it means if Vitalis and Celerity, you pretty much can't be kept up with unless it's on like Hebo or Kali and Ra to a lesser extent.
Fatalis.
Be fast.
Yeah.
I think Vitalis is a really good item in general on her. With having her relying on auto attacks, both the movement speed and attack speed are really good. The cooldown, if you can get in another banish in a team fight, that's going to help your team so much towards winning that fight. And having it, even if you're not hitting them every time, you basically using it. Using it every time it's up before the fight starts. If you can catch someone at a position and banish initiate on them, it's such an amazing skill. I think the cooldown combined with banish is the amazing part of her, and I think that's what makes her really good.
Yeah, that banish so strong. Can bring people out of team fights, stop people from running away so people can slowly meander over to you and rape you in the face.
I
the
think
advantage is a bit too strong, to be honest.
I think once people learn to use the banish, it will be, I think it's going to be almost people on the nerf hammer, or nerf bat, hammer, whatever it is. But I think people are going to jump on that once, competitive teams, I think once they start really being able to use Freya's banish to the top or to the full potential and, combining it with all these other skills, be like, oh, we don't want the AD carry in this fight, use it on him, or oh, we don't want the tank initiating, use it on him, and then go to the squishies first, or, I think once teams get a bit more used to the ability and start having good communication with it, Freya will be a much better pick than, or will be a really good pick in general.
Would be a really sort of like specialized pick in the sense that it's not quite so easy to learn. It takes a lot of practice because she has that kind of Artemis kind of syndrome in the sense that a well-placed trap, Artemis gets away every time. In the same way, a well-placed banish, Freya gets away every time. Freya's is slightly easier to land, but if you miss it, you're in big trouble, really.
Yeah, especially if you're trying to run away with it.
Yeah, but I think you're trying to say using it as an escape, but if you use it as, offensive in a team fight, being able to either take out their initiation, take out their counter initiation, take out their AD carry, you basically take out whatever you want if you can land it. And if you can get it on more people, even better, If you can get it on the perfect character, whatever you're going for, it's just so strong.
Yeah. It just takes landing it, really. Miss it.
Yeah.
Waste of time.
One of the things I'm curious about is why they did it, is why they gave her banish a initiation cooldown almost. So the time in between when you cast it and when it happens is fairly substantial for what it is. So it's not like as soon as you pop it under them, they fly upwards. It has a lag time built in. And I'm wondering if why they thought to do that.
I think it's to add to the difficulty of it, really, because if it was instant, everyone would be flying up in the air immediately. It would be really overpowered. That bit of delay means that people have to think about it to lead their target. Like Zalia was playing with when he first tried out Freya, he was playing with 250 ping because he was in another country.
Those countries.
And so he was on 250 trying to banish people on a skill that already did delays. You can imagine it was pretty difficult, really. He still landed at quite a few though.
I feel like once region select comes, a lot of characters will become a lot more, maybe not exactly, oh my gosh, like Arachne is entirely viable now, but, it'll help so much to bring out some of those picks like Arachne that, if you have over 100, 200 ping, you're basically screwed every time you try and ult. I think once that issue is fixed, a lot of those characters will see a little bit more light, maybe not, full viability, but it will definitely make them more played and more consistent in play.
Or gods like Cupid, where if you play with 200 ping and you're shooting, you have to lead them by a huge amount. You're like, oh, heart bombs? No, you're just not going to land that. Just don't even worry about that. It's just not going to happen. They don't exist where you think they exist.
No. This is a really weird lag. You have no idea.
Yeah, crazy.
I really hate when you ult is like an Odin and then you think they're in your circle, but they teleport out of it.
Oh yeah. I love that
really
one.
hate stuff like that.
Love that one. That's my favorite. Yeah, region select is gonna be nice when it happens. It's gonna be a while, because with region select that means it forces people apart. So expect that to be a while. They have to basically have about triple the population they have right now for that even to work. Because
the nice thing about how hi-rez is doing region select, though, compared to, say, how LoL does it, is the fact that if the EU people feel like playing with the NA people for, a match, hey, we can go on pick a server instead of, oh, we're isolated from you and can never really touch you unless we make another account on the other server. So I think that's really nice about how hi-rez does regions.
Yeah, and it's interesting because when you separate by regions, people actually separate themselves. All like things separate. When you make people do an extra step to accomplish something, it's just not going to happen in the same way. Just not going to do it. Which could be good, could be bad. Different play styles. I'm all okay with that. Ming. All right. Any other thoughts on Freya, Sprayer, and Sayo? Anything?
I think she's at a pretty good spot, to be honest. She's not like overpowered or underpowered.
I'll agree with that.
So yeah.
All right. Great. So, now that we have Freya, I will make her a little bit smaller. Sadly, a little bit smaller. Put her on my shoulder, right there, just like that. Great. So, because I'm lonely down here because we don't have Demon with us. Sad face. But I've got my little sprite Freya. So, the next god coming up is Loki, which some of you may know from a recent large blockbuster movie called The Avengers or Thor. Shock. So I have a feel from what we've seen so far, the Loki that we're going to see is going to be slightly different from the one we saw in the movies. So for that, I am going to call one of our guys, Tim, and
Timmy GG.
Yep, Timmy. You saw him in the chat, and he does a bunch of our video stuff. He brings up the God reveals, so we are going to call him up, and we are going to see what happens. And if he wants to join us on video, hey Timmy, how are you?
Let me mute the stream.
Yes, mute the stream, please. There
we go. Hey guys, what's going on?
Hey, what up, yo?
Hey Timmy.
Hey, good job BLG.eu. Really big fan.
Woo.
Up. So, are we going to be talking about Loki here? I think we have a Shaco for Smot finally, if you ask me.
Yeah, tell us about it.
I think basically with Loki, from what I could see with the FX, at first I want to say that this is unreleased God, so whatever I say and whatever content I might release may not be what we get when it's released for good. So I think that they're trying to fill a role for a magical assassin jungler type god, and I think that Loki's going to be our first one to do it. I think that maybe Hades could be played like a jungler magical assassin, maybe, if you build him that way. But we don't have any that specifically got the abilities to fill that role and do it well, So I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm not the final word on it. Just kind of getting a look at the FX. What do you all think?
Yeah, what do you guys think?
I don't know. We'll have to see how Magic Assassin does. From what I've seen in other games, Magic Assassins seem either brokenly overpowered or entirely useless. A lot of it's depending on if you get counterpicked or not. But that's just what it seems to me. We'll see how they balance him and how he fits into the game. I think it's definitely a necessary role and it's a fun role at that. But we'll have to see where the balance goes on him and if they can balance him correctly.
Would you say that there's any gods right now that really feel that role? Because I don't, not any specifically that's, specifically there for that.
Well, the Agni almost used to be like that since he could stun you and you couldn't really do anything about it. But I wouldn't say that anyone exactly fits that role. But I don't know. We'll see how he plays out when he's actually released.
Yeah, so I'm very curious what you guys think of why hi-rez decided to go with magic damage for lots of melee gods and then magic damage for some not so melee gods, and how you think that goes on their game design, like say Ares or Freya or Loki. I mean, obviously, yeah, go for it.
I think they're trying to think outside the box a bit. I think they're really trying to get in touch with the lore a bit more, because when you think about it, they were saying like Ares is bound in chains. Right. Now, I don't know I mean, you wouldn't make a nice physical god. Let's just make it. What they predicted was Ares physical bruiser was what everyone was thinking because he has a big ass sword, big ass shield. But I think either hi-rez just felt there was a lack of magical tanks, which there were. I mean, what Guan Yu, Sobek, Hades. But at the same time, thinking like actually the way they designed him in terms of magic is actually really cool. Actually, I really like Ares. I think he's an interesting god, and I think if they built him, made him the same sort of predictable way, he wouldn't be as interesting and fun to play as he is now. I mean, I love chucking chains at people, like just shackling them to pieces, like yay, just like just follow you around and steal your movement speed. I mean, that's really fun for me. I like playing Ares. I don't play him enough.
Yeah, he is.
So I think they're maybe thinking less on the predictable side and more on what's the most fun they can make out of a god. And I mean, with Sobek, we were like, he has a huge axe. Why is he magical? And like, when you think about it, he charges at people and grabs them and like swings his tail around and sinks into the ocean. Those are quite. I mean, his ultimate is definitely magical, and it wouldn't really. I think it really is just a case of what's most fun, what kind of would make his kit synergize the best. Making Sobek physical would make him just for mana, really. I'm gonna dash at you and grab you and slow you and all that. I really think it is just a case of what would make this god the most fun in a way, and that's kind of what the game is about.
Absolutely. So, Mr. Timmy, what can you tell us about some of the specific abilities that we're going to be seeing with Loki?
Well, I think first off, I think we'll start with his auto attack. I think that he's going to be melee with the staff. He's got the slashing effects like we've seen in most of the other gods that's been released that's been melee. I think his first ability is going to be a teleport move where I don't think there's going to be a stealth aspect to him because I'm not sure if it'll work well with Smite. But I think that his one ability will be a poof where he instantly teleports to a target location. His his two ability is like a kamikaze attack, sort of, where he explodes itself up and then he respawns close nearby and does some kind of slow or stun or some sort of debuff to his enemy. His third, I'm not very sure. It looks like it may just be a buff to his staff. Some other people have had thoughts on it. I'm not sure how it's going to work, but you guys can watch the video yourself. I'll link it in the stream here, and you all can see what you think of it. We didn't get an ultimate effects in the files, but my take on it, and I've talked to a few other people, and thinking maybe he makes some clones. If they're going with the whole theme of Shaco, and I'm pretty sure League of Legends Shaco was inspired from Loki. If they're still going with that theme, I assume that his ult's going to be some sort of thing where he pops out multiple clones and can attack with them or something like that, which would be cool. A great mechanic to add to the game because we haven't really seen a god that controls minions or anything like that, and I think that's one thing that we're really missing. So it'd be cool to see that, but I'm not sure.
That would be interesting. A god that would do his minions or create minions / control ones that are already around. That might be really interesting.
I mean, we have Bastet, which releases her cats or whatever, but I mean, they're not controllable or,
right.
Kind of just sick them and it goes.
Sick them!
Yeah.
Yeah, just like that. Sound effects and everything.
I think it's interesting. I wish that we had a real model to see for what he's going to look like, but it was interesting to see the thumbnails and see that they're kind of going for like the crazy gesture looking type thing, which I myself was kind of picturing him to be a little more tough and I don't know, less of a clown, I want to say. I don't know. But from that aspect, it looks like they're just going straight with the whole Shaco thing. So, but it turned out pretty well for League. See how it goes with Smite.
Cool. Well, thank you very much. Guys, check out the video and our article on it. I linked it in chat. Thank you very much for joining us, Timmy.
Thanks, guys. Keep up the good work, and find me over at youtube.com/TimmyHiley, and I will post it in the stream. And thanks for watching.
Yeah, he's got some great vids.
Yep.
All
See
right.
you,
Bye, guys.
Timmy.
Later. All right, thank you for joining us, Timmy. You guys can call us up on Skype, perfect.rain. We have entered into our free open part of our show now, where chat can ask questions. Our guys, our panel can commentate on what they want to hear, see, talk about, all that other kind of stuff. So what do you guys got for us?
By the way, Revel,
What's up?
did you saw the new ESL tournament that's coming up on Sunday?
No, what do we have?
I thought you would have it here, but let's talk 1 minute for this. I don't know.
Yeah, take it.
ESL is hosting a tournament called, I think, Battleground of the Gods or something, a 5v5 tournament online. We don't know about prices now. There's not much information except for a sign up on the esl.eu page in the Smite section. It's pretty much just, I think, another tournament where it's up to 32 teams, I think, to sign up this Sunday. It starts at 17 p.m. Central Europe Standard Time.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think it's great. We will play there and get off some practice and hopefully have a good tournament. And I hope as many teams as possible will sign up there. So we'll have a great and fun tournament.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, because I think a lot of guys missed it. Because ESL is not so many, maybe not so visited and not so many people using it for Smite now. But I really hope because it's not just a EU, I think it's a worldwide online tournament. So never mind if you're US, you haven't to travel anywhere. It's just an online tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully, we get some good teams in there, and I'm looking forward to it, really.
Great. Yeah, that sounds like fun. I'm yes, a new tournament. It's hey, by the way, there's this really cool thing. Have some candy.
Yeah.
That's how you're it's oh, by the way. It's sweet.
I was posting it to Demon, but he had some troubles this week, I know.
Yeah,
Was
yeah.
just kind of getting, yeah.
Yep. For those of you just joining us who watch our show regularly, Deamonmachine could not join us tonight because he had a death in the family. So our thoughts go out to him in that. So. All right, you guys can call us up on Skype, perfect.rain, or you can message us. All right, let's see who we got. All right. Great. We have Alex calling us up. He has something to comment on. Hey, Alex, you are online with Beyond the Rift. What can we do for you?
Hey, guys, what's going on?
Hey.
What's up?
Not much. I just wanted to make a verbal statement on behalf of the other qualifying team for the Paris trip. I wish BLG.eu the best of luck. Unfortunately, we will not be going to Paris on the counts of one of our members took a leave right after the tournament.
Oh man.
So we will not be going. It would have been a pleasure and an honor, going up against you guys, but unfortunately, we will not be able to go. And as far as everything is concerned, the old team's not going to be anymore. So, but I do wish you guys the best of luck.
Well, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
And sorry about that, really. We were kind of looking forward to going against you, actually.
It's alright. Things happen and people take different turns. So, but I'll still be playing. I'll still be seeing you guys around.
Yeah, certainly.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Do you know what they're going to be, or what ESL is going to do?
Yeah, we know what ESL is going to do.
Well, no, I'm saying, are they going to just...
I don't think that we are supposed to talk about
money,
this.
Or are they just gonna...
I think we're not supposed to talk about this. Sorry,
Okay, well,
this
they can't
ESL
talk
is
about it,
no.
Yeah, then don't talk about it.
But they have
I'm in the dark here. All I said was, all me and my team at Afghan said that we were not going to be able to go, and then they pretty much said okay.
Oh, all right.
So as to what they're going to do, I have no idea.
Interesting. Well, I guess we'll find out.
Yeah. But I just wanted to make that statement. I do wish you guys the best of luck, though.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too.
All right. Anyone else can feel free to call us or message us. Skype perfect.rain. So all about those things that we shouldn't talk about. We probably shouldn't talk about them. I guess.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Apparently, there's things we shouldn't talk about. Well, we probably shouldn't talk about them. I don't know. I don't know how any of this works. I just do a stream. Whatever. And so. That's cool. All right, what do we got? I'd like to go on and talk about a thread in this forum, just about how it's affecting the game. We have another guy who wants to call us up. Baz. Baz, what can we do for you today? I will go ahead and link that in chat.
Let me mute the stream there. My bad.
No problem.
Hello there.
What's up? How's it going?
Yo. What can we do for you, sir?
You guys are really loud. There we go.
Yeah. We are really loud. Especially that typing. Alex.
It's okay.
Oh, yeah.
So, for those of you who don't know, there was a thread started on Reddit by, let me get the guy's correct name, Jawa Penguin, who basically posted, how is this game going to be competing with other games such as Dota, Han, League of Legends in terms of competitive play and well as player base. And it kind of got on to like this huge discussion. So I figured I'd put it on the hi-rez forums and kind of see what the rest of the community thought about it. And a lot of us are in agreement that hi-rez does things. I mean, me and Alakite were kind of going back and forth on this as well, forums. And I think we kind of came to the conclusion that they do things, but it's so far spaced out that it really seems that they're not doing as much as they should to make the game become something like League of Legends. Because if you look at what happened with League of Legends when it first was out, it was, Riot was a small company. I think they were probably even smaller than hi-rez at the time when they were first developed, because it was from one of the original creators of the original Dota. Then he kind of went off and did his own thing. And the way Riot handled it was they pretty much just kind of threw themselves at this one thing that they were trying to do. And it exploded, obviously. It's probably one of the most, if not the most well-known game next to World of Warcraft in the gaming industry right now.
Call of Duty.
Well, Call of Duty's not a game. Come on.
Hey, when you say most well-known game, you have to consider console
right
games.
Now, next
Call of Duty. It's everywhere. Like,
It's
Assassin's Creed.
Oh my god.
Assassin's Creed is on
Don't
the.
start, Revel, don't.
Just get back on topic.
Sorry, continue.
Stay on topic.
Sorry.
Revel, stop.
I'm being bad.
It's
Continue,
okay.
sir.
In regards to...
No
So,
more
I
Call of
mean,
Duty shit.
I guess basically what I'm trying to get your guys' opinions
Right,
on
right.
is, do you guys feel that hi-rez is not doing what they really need to do in order to make the game be competitive? Because, they do help tournaments, but they're not doing everything they could do, at least the way I see it. I mean, if they really wanted their game to become something like Dota, League of Legends, etc., then they really need to throw all their resources at what they're doing right now and not worry about, say, the new Global Agenda 2, which, I mean, cool, I'm excited for, but I'd rather have them have most of their resources and funds focused on what they're trying to do now. And yeah, I guess that's kind of my question.
Gotcha.
I don't want to keep repeating myself.
Oh,
Yeah, I got it. So before I let
so-
our panel answer, and I'm sure Alakite, Rosterian, and Sayo have some great words to say for this. If any of you hi-rez guys are watching or want to comment, feel free to call me up on Skype perfect.rain. All right, go ahead, Alakite.
Okay, well, I guess this is going to be my last answer because Indrid wants me to go cast the game with him after this.
Cool. Go for it.
But anyways, so I totally disagree with what people are saying in that thread about how hi-rez is helping but not doing what they're supposed to be doing. I believe that as a business move, what they're doing right now is exactly what they want to be doing in the way that, this is hard to explain, but right now I think they want to get their numbers up for just people playing the game instead of want to focus on the competitive scene.
Right.
Right now what they're doing is, it's not like they're neglecting the scene. They're still giving gem codes, they're still giving some spec access, all that to the competitive scene. They're just not being an active part of it, which even that can be, set away with Bart and me and Indrid casting ESL.
Yeah, or
but
I just also want to throw in there. It's not on this exact same thing. It's not like TSM just happened to start casting Smite.
Well, yeah. So
sorry,
I'm trying to get back on my tangent before I have to go. But I think right now what they need to do is increase numbers, which is exactly what they're doing. People say that Bart just streams to have fun, but with throwing out gems out there, free money basically, all this stuff that these teams are influenced by, or not teams, people are influenced by, and they want to join the game because, hey, I just happened to be in the hi-rez stream. I got some gems. I want to now go cash them. Or, oh, I have this opportunity, and I see this cool guy or, fun guy streaming Smite. It looks like Bart may be jacking around half the time, and he has a lot of fun, but it's, like I was saying earlier, to be a good streamer, you basically either have to be good at entertaining or skillful. Bart's not the best player in the game, so he makes up for that by being entertaining. He is entertaining, so people want to play the game. They want to see, oh, this game is fun. You can have some real excitement, real fun. You can be, you can do all this if you're playing Smite. Unlike LoL, where I sit here, I can, get into this game. So I think that's what he's promoting. It's not just pointless streaming like a lot of people make it seem. They do a lot of stuff behind the scenes in getting people to play this game, like having a lot of streamers from other communities like Sooner and other people streaming the game that bring people over from other games. So, I mean, there's always something you could do better, but I think right now they are putting their focuses where it needs to be in making the community bigger before they go all out sponsoring tournaments. We can't really compare it to Dota. League, we kind of can, but I think they were also in a different situation. But Dota 2 is an entirely different situation in my mind since, what was I going to say? Oh, since they, their game was already there before. They don't have a problem really getting a community. If everyone could, they would jump in it. But right now it's beta, so it's not like they have a shortage of players that are wanting to be in the competitive scene. Smite, right now, what do we have, like 5, 6, I guess what we could call high-level teams or top-level teams? That's just not that big of a competitive scene compared to other games. So I think right now they need to focus on getting the community up, getting people wanting to come from those other communities to here so we can get more competitive teams.
Right, okay, so I can agree with that. But I think the issue with as far as like doing their job wise, it doesn't feel that they're really kind of listening to what the community is asking for. I mean, how long have we been asking for draft mode and balance fixes and that kind of things? And it's kind of the typical hi-rez, kind of slow molasses type of flow where they just kind of release things really, really small at a time. And I can understand that they could be stretched for resources. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what their budgeting plan is like. I don't know what their staff is like. But in other games that are effectively even smaller than they have been like doing a lot more for games like Natural Selection 2, or Firefall, or we can even go with what the hell is it called? I can't remember the other name of the other game. But like those two both started out with like a really small development company. They were both very small. They didn't have a lot of resources, but their main thing, what they did was listen to the community and kind of went with what the community was asking for and really focused on how they were being talked to. And then they went back and kind of communicated with the community as it was more like a coffee shop roundtable communication more than, okay, well, we're going to post on the forums a patch notes. Here you go. It was more of like, I feel that hi-rez just kind of does the smallest amount possible needed for communication and kind of content updates, and then we go 2-3 weeks without a patch, and then we get patches that are like really small, and everyone's like, what the hell? Like, well, what have you guys been doing for 3 weeks? So I guess I'm disappointed to see that hi-rez is continuing to follow their stigma of, well, we're just going to kind of do it whenever we feel like it.
Okay, last rank, then I gotta go because I need to cast this with Indrid.
Yeah, man.
But
all right, go.
So basically, I do agree. Hi-rez can be slow with their stuff. I wasn't here for GA, and not that much of Tribes, so I can't really comment that much of how they've been in the past. But they do things pretty slow at times. Hard to admit that. But some other things like challenge mode, they got that out really fast, and the community was whining, oh, we lost the ability to scrim when you couldn't dodge Qs anymore. So they do, things that are necessary for the competitive side, they seem to do pretty fast in, comparison. So I don't think it's, like they're not doing anything to help them. I think it's, some things they do slow, but they do have
I'm
a lot
not
of
saying
good
they're not doing
priorities.
anything, but it's just.
I just want to say one thing, please.
Go ahead, Saya.
Yeah, go ahead.
For
let me leave.
you said draft mode. They announced draft mode, I think, 2 months ago. The draft mode will be available when there are 30 gods in the game.
Nice.
So at release date. Secondly, like you say, Firefall, for example. You know how long Firefall was in development, and
oh my god,
this is 8 years. 8 years of developing one game. Like cutting off the project and getting on it onto it again, finding new sponsors.
I completely understand that. Yeah.
All right, hold on, back.
Like,
what were you saying, Sayo?
Yeah. No. Just in comparison, like this Smite game was like, I think developed for 1 year or something, and they're completely new to MOBAs. And this is a complete new MOBA with a person. And for balancing, you have to think like a MOBA is really hard to balance actually, because you have to think you can balance one god to compare to another god, and then you have to balance like 25 gods to each and another, and 25 gods with the synergize of like you play with a team, and you need to like balance this so around that you are not OP in your team and that you are not OP or like underpowered against the enemy team. So it's not easy to balance. So actually I think the game is not so bad at balance currently. It's just some things that they need to change for, like what you said, like don't listen to the community. It's and her actually, but it's really like and her is, I think they called for nerf since the release, and her was completely untouched since the release of the god, and this is what I think is the only biggest balance issue in her, and maybe hell.
I think.
Okay, well, wait, let me go. All
right, see you later,
I
Alex.
actually need to go off.
See you and have fun casting.
I want to throw out some shout-outs, shout-outs. I get my shout-out time.
Go for it.
Nah.
Do it.
So, I'll be streaming on Twitch TV / Alakite. Don't leave this, though. Just after you're done, come watch some scrims. Me and Indrid are going to be casting.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
I like Indrid. He's a pretty cool guy. And it was really fun casting with him, so I look forward to casting right now. And, follow me on Twitter, all that stuff. I guess that's it. Thank you very much, and I'll see you guys later.
See you later, Alakite.
Yes,
thanks for joining us.
See ya.
See you, okay.
All right, so
As I was saying,
go for it.
Smite. If you put it into perspective, let's see, it's been out for 3-4 months. We've had 4 tournaments. We have an offline tournament already. I mean, an offline tournament in for a closed beta, that's a pretty good achievement, I would have thought, if you think about everything. And then you've got a whole championship. I mean, Fixie was always saying that it was the community that would it would be the community that have to lead the charge for esports, and we've really kind of, the community is really banded together in terms of this. Like, there's so many tournaments, so many people trying to pick this up, ESL immediately,
Right.
and when you think about it, it's going pretty well. Bart's gone to Poland. He's hosting he's there with the tournaments as Tribes and Smite, and then he's going straight to Paris. You can't deny he's devoted. He's doing his job. Really.
And there are also some secret informations around.
Yeah.
It's pretty set already that the game is played at Gamescom 2013 on a big stage again,
Cool.
like in Paris, because the game was already at Gamescom in 2012, and it was played by 2 pro teams, Team Curse and Team Game.de from League of Legends. Both of these teams played Smite on stage, on the big stage, and like what
They were horrible.
Forums and stuff. Yeah, sure, they were really like it was like everyone's first match and stuff, but still like on forums and stuff, and what you see from interviews, you can tell that like the Gamescom event for 2013 is pretty much set for hi-rez. We just have to wait for some announcement, I think next year in March or April.
Great.
And I think this game, like, they are doing enough in my like point of view for like getting this game grown. For example, with this TSM, like they're not streaming Smite because they want to stream it, because they just found out about this game, because they are paid to playing League of Legends, and they are in season 3 in League of Legends, and they get a salary from Riot, so they will never ever switch to Smite. They cannot, basically, because
well, they
but
can,
they stream it,
but
and so
they probably won't.
So basically, this tells us that like hi-rez is like targeting for mainstream like TSM and all this stuff to drag in League of Legends players and community, and I think they're doing a great job with this, streaming every day, like during the week, and getting in touch with ESL to host such big tournaments and stuff. And I think we can see much out of this with ESL and hi-rez in the future. Maybe probably also IEM, the Intel Extreme Masters or DreamHack. We'll see.
Oh, absolutely.
How this goes. But so far, like for 4 months into a beta, I don't know. Like it's big. It's really big to host such a tournament. It's my opinion, but
I think people are expecting
I could be wrong.
a lot for how far it's come. I mean, it's changed a lot in the past few months, really.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I was talking,
and people always compare it to League of Legends. You know, League of Legends get into like League of Legends has an easy learning curve. Like when you play this game first, you think like, oh, you got this. Like I can do this. You stomp some games. You have fun playing this game.
Absolutely.
There wasn't really any other MOBA around except for HON afterwards, and Dota was like kind of old, so people wanted something fresh and new. And League of Legends like just did, I think, everything right at the right time and made the right decisions.
Absolutely.
And this is why it went so big. And it was a free-to-play game, so yeah. But who knows? Like Smite also has the same potential. There's no MOBA around like Smite with third person, which adds so much to the game. Like if you think about Smite, like wall warding, you know, like warding a buff or something like this, and you can look over the walls. Like this is what's called wall warding in League of Legends, and you cannot do such things in Smite, like for stealing a Baron or stealing a Fire Giant, a Gold Fury, and this stuff, because you don't have the vision from the gaming mode. Like you in third person, this is like the big
absolutely
big difference, and what adds so much
really is.
I don't know, freshness into a MOBA that I really enjoy.
It's fresh.
I wouldn't really call Smite MOBA, to be honest. I think of Smite as more of a FPS game. But that's just me, I guess.
It's just
Yeah,
you.
it's just you. It's just you.
It's just me.
All
I
right.
think
Well,
that sums
thank you.
up.
Yeah. Thank you for the call, Baz. Thank you for the question.
Yeah, no problem, guys. I just wanted to hear your opinions, and thanks for sharing. I really appreciate it. Love the show.
All right. Thanks. See you later.
Yeah.
See you.
All right, and I think that will do it for us for now. I'm going to go ahead and end our show here. It was great joining us. Thank you guys so much. If you want to stick around for a few more minutes after this, we will be doing an open question and answer thing. You guys can type in chat anything you want these guys to answer for you. They may or may not do it, but you can feel free to type it in there. And so thank you so much for joining us. You can check us out on blgaming.com. And this is... we have Rosterian over here and Sayo over here. They are from BLG.eu. They are going to Paris Gamescom to win a bunch of money in a few weeks.
A bunch of money, yeah.
Yeah, but hey, you're winning more than I am.
is-
So
We're winning more than we
Fucking
pay for the trip,
money.
yes.
yeah, you're gonna win more than you paid for the trip. So
But I don't travel for the money there.
yeah,
Like
yeah. So
different stuff, but
yeah,
you'll
so you
see
can check it out at blgaming.com. We will have, of course, awesome coverage on them because they're great. And check us out. Follow us on Twitch and follow us with that big heart happiness thing down there that may or may not actually exist. And yeah, that's it. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and stick around. See you later.
After show.
Oh.